Whether you like this corporate jargon or not, a lot of people tell me that they want to increase buy-in. And this video is dedicated to one habit that will help you increase buy-in. And in fact, in just a few minutes, I'm actually gonna teach you a language. And if you learn this language, as a leader, leaders who speak this language consistently, and when I say leader, I don't mean position of power. I mean anybody in an organization who wants to make something happen that wasn't gonna happen otherwise. Anybody that wants to increase buy-in, if they learn to speak this language, they will see buy-in and engagement go up. And if what I teach you here does not increase buy-in in your context, then you can write me an angry email and I will respond. Let me set a bit of context. I used to have a job for a group called World in Conversation. My job was to walk into a room full of about 6 to 10 strangers who were there, mandated to be there, to have a conversation about a really light, comfortable topic like race relations, long-term conflict, gender, politics, sexuality, religion, etc. for 90 minutes. So you can imagine, kind of needed to increase buy-in pretty quickly. Otherwise, there's gonna be a really painful 90 minutes. So when I first met my co-author, Will Wise, Ask Powerful Questions, Create Conversations That Matter, he taught me this tool and this language, and it transformed the way that I communicated with people. And it makes my marriage, it increases buy-in in my marriage, in my fatherhood, in my work. And it is the language of intent, right? So the tool here that I'm gonna unpack with you is to get clear about your intention and share it with the people that it affects. Here's why that's so powerful. Before we go too far, intentions are not objectives, right? Intentions are not goals. Objectives and goals tend to be me-focused. Intentions stretch over the needs of everybody in the group and pull people together. Meaning you have to consider, what currency do people care about? If you want to increase buy-in for people, what do they care about? What's going to make them buy in? What is worth it for them to buy in, right? So if they don't want to go to this meeting that you have set because they're too busy, can you say, my intent in this meeting is to have one conversation that saves each of us 3 hours of wasted, confusing communication after this. Practically, right, this is metaphorical, it's interesting, but practically, how do I stretch an objective to become an intention? Here's how. My 2 favorite words. So that. I want to get this done so that you can go home and spend time with your family. My intention in this video is to teach you how to increase buy-in so that you can work less hard. You can reduce your effort, but have more buy-in in the projects that you're working on. Right, do you hear that? That's my intention for this video. So that you can work less hard. That's the currency I think you might care about, right? Because I've never met anybody on the planet who says, I would love to work harder than I need to. So your intent, before the so that, what do you want to get done? After you say so that, insert a currency that people care about. Money, time, reputation, status, appreciation, recognition, belonging, fitting in. Now, when I say I'm going to teach you a language, this is the language of intent. If as a leader you walk through the world, or as a person you walk through the world, and before you're asking anybody to do anything, you're sharing your intention. Hey, let's go out to dinner so that we can actually just spend some quality time connecting. That looks really, really different than all right, what should we eat? Let's go out to dinner. Very often we do things in the world, but very rarely do we pause long enough to get clear about what our intent is. And as soon as we do that, and it only takes 20 seconds, it adds purpose to the next hour, 2, 3 hours that we're spending together. And so as a leader, when you learn to speak the language of intention, the people around you get more bought in with what's happening. I had a client recently, his name is Jeremy, and I was teaching a group of senior leaders this idea of intention and getting clear about it. Because when you get clear about your intention, it roots out the possibility for manipulation. Because the person, when they hear your intent, can say, yes, I want to play the game that you're playing, I'm in. Or they can say no. Either way, there's no manipulation because they get to choose one way or the other. Now, this is a whole other layer of complexity. When a group has different intentions pulling in different directions, bring it up a level higher. Because at some point, the more general you go, at some point you can agree, right? So if you're working in higher education and you got people who have different intentions, you can probably agree that you want to make a positive impact on students. I don't think anybody who has a job in higher ed and wants to make a negative impact on students. And so you may create your intention as an anchor at something that everybody can agree on. So what happens is it's easy to, I can do this, Steven. This is funny. Let's actually, editors, can we leave, even what I'm saying right now, can we leave this in the video? Because I think it's important if you're watching this to see like behind the scenes. Putting this together is not easy. My intention right now, which see if I can help recalibrate with an intent statement and practice what I'm preaching. My intention is actually to be meaningfully useful in this video so that when you leave here, all the time that you spend this week is more purposeful. That wakes me up a little bit. I'm like a little bit more engaged and intrigued in making and landing the plane with this video and making sure it's practical and useful. I was leading a session with a group of 40 senior leaders, and my client, Jeremy, it was a hybrid session. I was presenting remotely, the group was in person, and Jeremy had a lapel mic, much like this on. And he said, Chad, after this next thing, can I share something with the group? I had no idea what he was gonna say. You know, as you've been unpacking this intention, I wanna share a really concrete example of how you've been practicing this, and I kind of forgot about this. But when you go to book an event on my calendar, so let's see if I can bring this closer, right? So you go to book a meeting on my calendar to explore possibilities to work together, right? You choose a date that's open and free. You choose the time, so you confirm it. You put in your details here, where we're gonna meet, etc. And can you see the question at the very bottom? What is your intention for our time together? And then it says, it's amazing how reflecting our intent before a meeting can help foster great conversations. Wouldn't it be cool if every meeting we set up, we knew what the intention was before we even show up to the meeting? I think, maybe in the back of our brains, we have this idea that it's a best practice to create an agenda for a meeting. And maybe for some meetings it is, but it's totally unrealistic. We have too much to do. If you want to put a really valuable one-line agenda together, come up with a clear intent statement, add the words "so that," and infuse the currency that people at that meeting actually care about. And your meeting will be fundamentally more valuable, and you'll have more buy-in no matter what you are leading and trying to achieve. I'm Chad Littlefield. I hope, as I stated earlier, that you found this valuable. Have an awesome day.